Okay, guys, it's time to talk about bagels. Yeah, I know. If you're moving to Rio Rancho from New York or Chicago or California, one of the things you have to plan for is where you're going to get a good bagel, right? Now, I'm not saying it's not important to pick the perfect home, and we're going to talk about that, just not in this video. Right now, it's time to talk about bagels. So, a quick little history. As you know, if you saw the pizza video, I grew up in Brooklyn, kind of on the border of Coney Island and Brighton Beach, right? So obviously, pizza and bagels were like converging and surrounding us in every way possible. So there was a bagel store right next to the high school. I went to Lincoln High. I did graduate, in case you were going to ask. Not with honors, but I did okay. Actually did graduate a year early, so there's going to be something said for that. But anyway, so we used to go to the bagel spot all the time during lunch hour when we were at Lincoln, 10th grade, 11th grade, whatever, and just hang out in front of the bagel shop and basically just eat bagels with cream cheese or eat maybe, you could get a sandwich on a bagel there, but their main thing was they'd sell you a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen. So you could just like stock up, either get like an order of every different one, or if you had a favorite like a salt bagel, you could just say, give me a dozen salt bagels. And it was like all about bagels. But the cool thing was you could just hang out there, and then when they just came out with a fresh batch of bagels, like right out of the oven, the guy would just come outside and say, hey guys, bagels are ready. And then everybody would just run in and buy their bagels, soda, chocolate milk. I think 𝐓𝐢𝐦𝐻 was a thing back before Yahoo, actually. Anyway, even a bagel and a soda. So, we're not connoisseurs, but we do go way back with bagels. The other location was, again, on the other side of the neighborhood, right by the schoolyard. There was a place called Maxis. And Maxi didn't really sell individual bagels, but he would make sandwiches on bagels. And like the standard was like Saturday lunch on the card tables in front of 3rd Street Park. You would get a bagel with turkey roll and cheese, like probably Swiss cheese, and a soda. And just sit out there playing cards or whatever, try to make as much money as you could. Saturday afternoon in front of Maxis. Right across the street was the schoolyard. So those were the good old days, guys. It's a little different now, but for the sake of nostalgia, here are a couple of options, right? So number one, you have the Bagel, Deli, and Bakery. Again, like kind of a local joint where you can pretty much get a real bagel. And I know there was some time a few years back that people would start crying, oh, well, other states don't have New York water, so the bagels are not as fresh or don't rise or whatever BS. They were just homesick. The truth of the matter is they're really good, and, whatever you get there, you're going to feel like you're home, whether you're coming from, again, California, Chicago, LA, or New York, anywhere in New York, and pretty much any other city as well, right? Okay, on to the next one. There's Alicia's New York Bagels and Subs. So again, subs could be their own separate video. But the main thing is, if you have that craving, like, okay, Saturday, Sunday morning, I just want to go get a bagel and coffee, this is the way to do it, guys. So you can just hang out and feel like it's the good old days, shoot the BS, whatever, hang out for a while, maybe make some new friends or just bring your own buddies, whatever you want to do. And it's as close to home as you can possibly get. Okay, number 3, and I know you're going to like knock this one a little, but I'm telling you, this is legit. So they have Einstein Brothers Bagels. And it's a chain. Obviously, they've got I don't know if they've got hundreds of locations, but there are quite a few locations here. So I'm assuming most major cities. I've seen them at the airport. This is a pretty big operation, right? Now, because it's a chain, you're probably saying, well, it's not going to be as good as Maxis or the bagel shop, or even some of the local guys here. But look, They have the recipe, they bake them, they know what they're doing. They've got every different flavor of cream cheese you could imagine in your wildest fantasy that you could possibly put on a bagel, and probably a dozen different types of bagels. And the bagels are legit, guys. So yeah, it's kind of like going to a major corporation to get your bagels. It does feel a little weird the first time, but when all is said and done, it's a great way to have like breakfast or brunch, for like less than $10 in a local joint that happens to be owned by a major corporation. And again, just for reference, the name of the company is Einstein Brothers Bagels. Now, I honestly don't know if they're related to Albert Einstein. They could, or maybe they just paid his family some money to steal the name, or maybe by some random coincidence they happen to be actually, Einstein themselves. But look, here's the bottom line, guys. When you think of bagels, what do you think of? You think of Jewish guys. And who's the most famous Jewish guy out there? Albert Einstein. So you're probably not going to go too far wrong, right? Next time you're in town, particularly if you're coming to see me and you're wanting to take the new home tour, okay? If you're staying for a couple of days, we can check out all of these locations. We'll have breakfast or brunch, and then we'll go look at houses. Or, if you're bringing the whole family, but only a few of you are going to look at houses, you can grab a tub of cream cheese, and bring it home. Whatever you think is a cool idea. But the main thing is this, guys. When you do finally move here, when it comes to bagels, you will be okay. And I got you covered, and now you know where to go. Okay, see you on the next trip.